Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another exciting Brexit video. Today a lot has happened in the House of Commons, and you heard already about the visit of Boris Johnson to Ireland, and now I want to get started with the last session of the House of Commons, because Commons will be suspended tonight after session. Prorogation will start this evening. First, a little basic information that's important. During the session we heard the Benn bill has gotten royal assent. That means it's law now. That's important for some things that happened later on. But the first big news today was that the Speaker of the House, John Bercows, will stand down latest on October the 31st. He will stand down earlier in case of an early general election, but that's out of the picture for now because Parliament didn't vote for a general election today. Labour, SNP, Lib Dem, they all said before the motion came up today that they wouldn't vote for it. When I was filming this first part, the vote on the election hasn't happened yet, but I will put it in the end of the video when I edit it. But I'm quite sure that what I just said will be the result later on. About the Speaker, the timing is obviously quite interesting, because the timing means that without the election, this Parliament will decide who will be the next Speaker, not a newly elected Parliament with perhaps totally different majorities. So this also means that Labour candidates will have a good chance to succeed John Bercows. But more happened today. Dominik Grieve put up an urgent question after on Standing Order 24 about informations regarding prorogation and regarding Operation Yellowhammer. The debate on this urgent question was granted by the House of Commons after John Bercows agreed that it was an urgent matter. And after the whole debate where they discussed if members of the civil servants should give out the details of messengers, including Dominic Cummings, in the discussion about prorogation before it was granted by the Queen, should be handed over to Parliament. And as well, these information and all documents regarding Operation Yellowhammer have to be handed over to Parliament, because after the debate this motion has been passed by 311 to 302. So with a majority. Once again it shows that killing his own majority was not a good thing to do for Boris Johnson. Then there was a second urgent debate started by the leader of the opposition, Jeremy Corbyn. He wanted a debate on the government obeying the now law, which was always called the Benn bill, because it is law now. And in recent days, members of the government, including the Prime Minister, said in effect they won't obey this law because they won't. The Prime Minister said he won't ask the European Union for an extension, and other members of government said they will leave on 31st October, come what may. There will be no extension, but the Benn bill is now law. It got royal assent, as I said before, and so it has to be obeyed. In the debate there was another fun point. The government didn't even bother to answer on Jeremy Corbyn in this debate. So it's I don't know what to say about this. My point is that politicians have to obey the law, and if they don't, they're in trouble. So I can only say I hope that this government will obey the law. I heard a lot about they're looking for loopholes in this law, and they say it's not very well made, and but still it is the law. And to get back to one part of the debate, it doesn't necessarily say to get an extension. If Boris Johnson suddenly starts negotiating with the EU, if he only starts negotiating with them on the council meeting and he's successful by whatever miracle, he can bring this deal back to the House of Commons and have them vote on. And if they agree to it, there will be no extension. Then he doesn't have to ask for an extension. So this bill is not only about asking for an extension. And although it's highly improbable, but the bill even contains the fact, if the House of Commons should vote on a no deal before the 19th of October, he also doesn't have to ask for an extension. Then there was some other news today which are interesting regarding the fact that there's a second motion on a snap election by Boris Johnson and the government, is that new polls have come out. Not only new polls by some media, but also polls that were booked by the government to be made, and they all show that the government, the Conservative Party, would not get a majority if there was an election in October. All these polls show that they maximum, in the best case, can get 295 to 300 seats. And you know as well as I do, the House of Parliament has 650 seats. And even if you take out the seats Sinn Féin would get again in an election, and they won't take these seats, this still won't be enough for a majority. As you could see today in several cases, they had 302 votes and still lost the vote on the Grieve motion today. So an election in October cannot be the real aim for Boris Johnson with this snap election. Maybe the opposition is right and he just wants to start the snap election, then shift the beginning of dissolution of Parliament to later, and just let the UK get out of the EU while Parliament is dissolved. So they won't come back after prorogation on the 14th of October. That might be one of the plans, but we would have to see. First of all, there still will be the Benn bill, but the dissolved Parliament can't act against the government that is not obeying the law. I don't know how that would end, but I think that is a possibility that Boris Johnson, with his plans for an election, was planning to take Parliament out of the game from the 14th to the 31st of October. But this definitely won't happen. Now there was a little break in the video because I had to wait for the votes on the second snap election motion. But at the end of a long Brexit day, or in Germany it's early morning already, I can tell you that for the third time today Boris Johnson has been defeated by Parliament. By the way, talking about defeat, sorry for my viewers in Northern Ireland. You will understand that I'm quite happy about the German victory in the Euro qualifications in football today. But that's the only defeat you really had to suffer today. So I think you can cope with it. The qualification is long, so I can go on with Brexit now. Nevertheless, Boris Johnson has 3 defeats again today, and it's not looking good for him. Now after this, it's even more open what's going to happen in the next weeks until Parliament is coming back from prorogation. Parliament is suspended now. Boris Johnson has to act without Parliament for the time being, and I'm quite curious what he's going to do. Is he going to obey the law and ask for an extension? Can he manage to get a deal with the EU? What I don't really think, but we will see. There's a lot of time still to go until the EU Council meeting, and I guess we are all curious what's going to happen. For now, I just want to thank you for watching. Have a nice evening. If you haven't done so yet, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Feel free to share and to like my videos, and I hope I'm gonna see you soon. For now, I would say good night, but it's almost good morning in Germany, but still, bye bye.